guys, welcome to the Unknown Adventure. This is Joker. It's been a little while since I've done a bus update, so I'll give you a quick rundown of what I've done so far. I've got the headphones on just so you can get the Bluetooth audio, and it'll sound a little better than the phone does. So let's see what's going on and see where I am on my build so far. First thing you'll notice, I'm testing out some paint here. I'm trying some different cans of spray paint and seeing if I can get a nice even finish with spray cans first to start off. This is about, I think, $7 worth of spray paint. It seems you can see the primer on top there. So it seems to be doing pretty well. It looks pretty good. I masked off the headlights, and in each one of these headlights I've taken the regular bulb out of it and I've replaced it with the ultra bright xenon lights, or I guess they call them xenon, but the truth is they're like an LED light. So let me flip these on and I'll show you what I got going on here. All right. So you can see I've replaced these babies, these old yellows. I replaced the turn signals as well. But I replaced the old yellows with some really nice white bright lights on there. So that looks really nice and modern. I think that's going to turn out great. I'm digging the black, but I may end up, I'm also testing out some different grays here. This is actually a garage floor epoxy. And so I did this 2 coats of the garage floor epoxy, and then I did this one where I used a spray can of primer, and then I put 1 coat of epoxy over it. And I think I'm digging this here. I think this is going to give me a good hard finish. The gray looks good. I can do black trim and things like that. The other thing I went is I scrubbed all the wheel wells out. It's a little dirty now, but I scrubbed all the wheel wells out and sanded them really good, and I put on a nice coat of black paint, some Rust-Oleum on there. So as you can see, looks good and almost new. So those rims are going to turn out absolutely gorgeous. So let's show you where I am in here on the inside. Now I got some cabinets in. This side of the cabinet is actually going to be done with cedar wood, and that cedar wood's going to come right up here to the countertop. So that's going to hide all my insulation and everything down there. And I'll run them all the way down past my flooring down there to the floor. So it'll be floor all the way up to countertop of 1 cedar board. So I think that'll look really great. I've decided to go with black for the cabinets and black for the fridge. You can see there I've got my Galan's fridge R plugged in. I got it plugged in and running. I got to have my cold drinks. So still got to put knobs on these guys, but this is my counters. And as you can see, a lot of countertop. Like this is, let's see, 94 inches of countertop. So about 8.5 feet, right around there somewhere. I've got the ceiling going in. This is cedar, again, unfinished cedar. And I may have some little gaps to fill with wood putty, but I haven't gotten there yet. And for this, I just used... I used 10-foot wide boards, pine, and let me turn on the light here so you guys can see a little better. So I put in a little toggle switch here, and over here I put in a dimmer over the bed, which will go back there. All right, a little better there. So for this, I just took a pine board 10 inches wide and 3/4 of an inch thick, and I sandwiched 2 of them together, glued them all together, took a vise and put them 3 wide, and then I covered this in epoxy. So as you can see, it's a nice finished mirror bar finish there, and even the deep holes I just filled with epoxy there. I thought that was a really cheap, the total countertop cost came in for all this right around, I think, $200. Here I'm going to cut in my sink, so I'll have my sink and my faucet. And if we look down underneath here, yeah, right there, you can see where I'm running my water and my electricity up into this cabinet here. And they run down there behind the wall. And up there I've got a little light, or a little plug-in socket, and I'm going to do another one over here for my electricity. And you can see here I've done recessed lighting all through the bus up into the cedar ceiling panels. Here I've got my work desk. This is huge, a huge work desk. It's about, I'd say maybe 18 inches longer than a traditional work desk, and about another 6 or 8 inches deeper. And this is the same thing. This one I did a single piece of pine. And I just anchored that to a 2x2 on each end. I don't know if you can see on each end there. And I attached that to the bed frame down there. So this gives me a nice solid shiny surface to work on. I'll put my computer monitor on the back. It's going to be on an arm so I can rotate that around and be able to, I'm going to line my bed here with pillows, so I can have pillows all along there, and I can use that as a couch sitting area or just sleep there, spin my monitor around and watch it in bed because I've got a widescreen monitor I can watch. And I'll have my computer chair right here, and this will be my work area. And then off here to the left, I've got my little tiny mini stove. And you can see I've got wood tile here, and underneath that, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I've got ceramic board, some concrete board that'll protect that. I'm going to run concrete board up this side and this side to protect the stove area from the heat, and run tiling all the way up. You can see the tiling's pretty close to the floor. It's not quite exactly the same, a little bit more grain to it, but it'll be safe. And then I left one, I wanted to raise it off the floor a little bit. So when I raised it off the floor, I made a nice little box to raise it up, and this will hold, I haven't finished staining the inside of it, and I haven't screwed it to the wall yet, but this will hold wood, newspapers. It's a tiny stove, so it only takes 6-inch long pieces of wood. I'll put maybe some charcoal briquettes or something else in there. I can burn some paper, some lighters, stuff like that. The wall down here, I've covered in just a little half-inch ply, and I've run that down, and then the top edge where you can see all the insulation, that's going to get covered with some trim, and then I'll run cedar board down this side. Same thing over here down this side. And you'll notice there's no seating, right? That's one of the things whenever you go into an RV, you see tons of seating, and they'll say, oh, you can sit 8 people and 12 people can eat in here, and 9 people can sleep if you drop down the table. Well, this is a bachelor. This is a workshop slash adventure bus. So I want to make sure I have counter space to cook, repair stuff, tinker with stuff, whatever. I'll have my sink over there. I got my fridge, like I said. So I'm just going to have one chair right here. But if I want to have guests, I can turn this chair around. I can drop a chair over here. And this area, this aisle here is like 3.5 feet wide. So you could put a chair down here. I could have 2-3 people sitting here if I want. Down here's the aisle. So there's the water tank underneath my bed, which I just set everything over there for the time being. And this 12 volt is running from the bus battery all the way up in the front, and it runs all the way back here so I can run these lights. But once everything's done, these lights won't be running off the bus. They'll be running off the battery in the back. So this is I haven't decided. I might put some cabinets up here, let me back up here. Some kitchen cabinets. I might put some nice cabinets across the top there. I haven't decided yet. Maybe a shelf to hold some books and other stuff. I haven't really decided yet, but I'll get that figured out. So that's what we're looking at there for my little. Okay, back here I've got this is going to be, so the compost toilet's going to go back there, and you can see my water input and the air valve to go out, and these two go back to my water tank, and then you can see all my 110 to go up there for the utility socket right there. And then my shower is going to go in here, so I'm gonna put plywood on the inside of this, and then probably run fiberglass, and then I'll drill a hole through the floor, coat that with a nice epoxy, and have this all waterproof. And then back here, you can see I've got this cable hanging here, goes up into the ceiling, and then it comes down right over there, and it runs all the way up to where I'm going to put the socket right there next to the stove, which I have to be careful on, but I think that little stove doesn't put out too much heat for that. And I'm going to hide this inside some PVC. And then all my electrical utilities will come back here on the wall, plug them all in. Solar will come in from right up there, down to my converter. I'm going to cut in a 30 amp inlet over here with another converter there. And then I've got to block this off so that if I get a leak, it doesn't hit any of the electric stuff. But this is a 4-gallon hot water tank. So that's where I am for the moment. And so far it's coming along really well. I pretty much only got to finish the framing for the stove. The pipe, if you notice, I'm waiting for one more pipe I ordered because I didn't have quite enough pipe. So I've got one more pipe to go out here, and then I've got the insulation and all the kit to seal up the ceiling right up in there. And then I can finish my ceiling across here, and that's kind of where we are. So guys, that's the bus update so far. I will keep sharing as I go, but I don't want to share too often because not much has changed between video and video because it's a lot of work. But I should be getting the solar installed here shortly, get the bathroom cut in, and get the outside, getting it started to get painted. So I'll leave it there, and I'll share another update here as things progress. Guys, thank you for joining me. This is The Unknown Adventure. I'm Joker. We'll see you next video.